I learned to love reading in my early childhood from my mom and my dad. When I was just a baby, my mom would read to me on a nightly basis, and I would try to read along until eventually I could, and I would realize, hey, I can really read. We used to read all types of books, and I'd read them back to my mom. My mom teaching me how to read had a very positive impact on me, especially in school. By the time I got to my first grade class, I was very advanced in my reading, and throughout my whole school career, I read at a higher level than most of my peers. This really helped me in school because I've never had to struggle to read, and I was academically inclined. I feel like I owe that all to my parents. Once I learned to read, I started reading harder books than Dr. Seuss. The clearest memory of literacy that I have in my youth is reading the Hardy Boys with my dad. I remember getting home from school, getting my work done, and going to play until my dad got home from work. Once my dad got home, we would eat dinner, and when my dad got settled in, I'd ask him to read to me. When I would read with him, we would always read from the same series of books. My dad had an almost complete set of the Hardy Boys, a detective series that follows two brothers. When my dad was a kid, his dad used to read them to him, and he passed them on to me. We spent years reading these books until I grew up and started to read on my own, but looking back, I wish we could have finished them all. Maybe someday in the future I'll come back to the Hardy Boys, and maybe I'll even read them to my son someday. As I grew up and I started to have more friends, I put down the books and started to have new hobbies. I started playing basketball, football, and I even raced cars. I had girlfriends that took up most of my time as well. With all these distractions, I did not have as much time to sit around and read, and it just wasn't in the front of my mind. I think that the amount that you read really affects your brain's